My homestead education, getting ready to harvest some some potatoes. We did potatoes last year, and right before it was time to come out and harvest, our chickens had gotten in here, and they really enjoyed our potatoes last year. We got a little bit, a bunch of little ones that were actually delicious. We had purple ones, red ones, and white ones. This year we're trying our hand out at some sweet potatoes. I don't think they did real well. It gets too cool here at night. They need to have a tunnel cover, greenhouse kind of situation, and stay real good and hot all summer. So we'll see if we got what we got. I mean, they grew, but I don't know what we got. We got some white potatoes and some red potatoes this year. So we brought in, we have some manure in here. Most of it is wood chips that we planted in, and we put a lot of minerals like azomite, clay, or dust. What else did we put in here? Well, we put azomite and we put manure. I think that's what we put in here for the most part. So anyhow, here's the bed as it is now. These are our sweet potatoes in here, and it goes on down. It's probably 8 to 10 inches deep, and most of it down there, it's not quite as deep as it is down here. So anyhow, we'll try it. We'll show you some progress as we do it. Well, most of the sweet potatoes are a bust. We got a lot of them, little bitty ones like this. This is one that we cut a bunch of slips off of and then planted the rest of it. Mostly it'll be fodder for our sheep. We got a couple of small, these are our biggest ones right here. I guess that's not bad considering that we were still getting 50 degrees at night at the end of June, and we get cool all the time. And sweet potatoes have a formula. I don't remember what it is. I should look it up. But you need so many days of 90, 95 degree weather where the average temperature for the day and night is like 90. And it's like 120 or 100 and something days. You take the number of days and the average temperature for those days and multiply them, and you're looking for a number. And I actually read that from a lady who grew up about 2 hours from here, and now lives down south. And she grew them here and she grew them down there. She said they both did great, but it is some kind of a formula. So I'll look it up and see if I can find it. On to the next one. All right, found the formula for the sweet potatoes I was looking for. And I can tell you this, if you live in the southern states, you don't have to worry about it. If you live in a more temperate climate in the northern states, this will help you out tremendously. The goal you're looking for is 1,200 heat units. What is a heat unit? Well, you take your high and your low for each day, and you add them together, divide by 2, you average them. You subtract 55 from that, and that's how many heat units you got left. So an example, say your high is 90, your low is 70. You add them together, that's 160, divided by 2 is 80. Subtract 55, and you have 25 heat units. So 4 days of that gives you 100. You would need, what would that be? You would need 48 days of that minimum to get a successful crop of sweet potatoes. We didn't have that this year. We didn't do that this year. I should have waited a little longer. I should have put plastic over my sweet potatoes. They really weren't ready to pick. They weren't ready to harvest. I should have looked at them, read up a little bit more about it before I dug into them the other day. The white potatoes, they were already turning yellow, so I knew they were getting ready to harvest. But sweet potatoes, a lot of people up here, they say they don't pull them until towards the end of October when they're looking at first frost. So anyhow, something that I learned. Every day's a learning process for us here. Some of the things I learned, and this is for my future education for next year and beyond. If the ground is cold in May or even in June, as it was this year, you don't want to plant sweet potatoes when the ground's cold. You would do better waiting a whole nother month to plant them in mid-July. You will get a better harvest waiting till mid-July to plant than planting them early and just trying to keep them going along until it gets warm. The reason for that, fungus grabs a hold of the slips, and what little tubers start to grow stunt the growth of the tubers. And you can have beautiful tops planting in cool ground in late May through June if it's still cool. And you won't have any tubers or very small ones like what we had. We would have done better, and her recommendation is after 4th of July for the northern areas, to plant after 4th of July and to harvest from early to late October, and figure out your heat units and make sure that you had enough of those heat units. I am happy. I do like the little potatoes. I know most people are looking for the great big ones. I don't eat a whole lot of white potatoes anymore. There's times we do, but I don't eat. I used to eat, like, if you're from Texas, you know what those giant sweet baked potatoes are like. They actually take 2 big baked potatoes, cut the ends off about that much off of each end, and put them together, and you have a 14-inch long baked potato stuffed with, you know, barbecue chicken or beef and sour cream, and the thing only, I mean, it only weighs about 8 to 10 pounds. It's enough for a good meal. But I don't eat like that anymore. If I ate that right now, I would probably go to my bed and sleep for 18 straight hours. It would probably put me in a coma. So I like the little potatoes. They're very tender. They're very tasty. They taste amazing. I wasn't expecting much with our sweet potatoes. I definitely need to work on that if I want to try to grow them here. As far as getting them into, I may put those in the greenhouse next year actually, and keep the top on and just grow a lot of high heat, you know, plants, purple hull peas, sweet potatoes, a lot of peppers and stuff, tomatoes. Anyhow, here's what we ended up with. There's what you might call sweet potatoes. That's our biggest one right there. That's pathetic, but that's what we expected. I wasn't expecting world records. And then here are, I'm forgetting what we had. I have it written down inside somewhere. We had, I think these were actually russet potatoes. I mean, that's just pathetic, especially for Idaho. I mean, come on, Idaho potatoes. We don't live in the area that grows the potatoes, though. That's south near Boise. We're up in the mountains, among the rock. These are really nice. I do like these. We grew some of these last year. We had a whole bunch of them last year, though, that were this size. These are awesome in a soup. So we have enough for maybe 3 soups, 4 soups. I may can them. It won't give us much in the way of canned goods, but you know what? It's organic. We raised it, and I don't want it to go bad. And at the store right now, these potatoes per pound are the most expensive you can get that I've seen. I think at our store it's $5 or $6 a pound for these little bitty ones. Somebody had a good idea and took those to market the right way. But they're great canned. They're great in soups, stews, different things like that. I appreciate all your views. Keep watching. I am trying to put together some rules for a contest I'm thinking about doing. A very simple one. And so anyhow, just keep in touch, keep watching, upvote, comment, re-steam, and follow. And y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you. Hey baby, here's my daughter. She found my old Cookie Monster jacket from 37 years ago. Turn around. Show them the back. There we go. Woohoo! That's my little Eva.